Hello everyone, welcome to What If Deku Was Adopted by Wild Pussycats Group Part 3. Before we start, please go support KingJoka for writing that awesome fanfic. Challenges on the horizon. Ragdoll and Tiger pull up to Namuri's house in their pickup truck. They exit the vehicle carrying a large sealed bowl about the size of a child. Ragdoll: I didn't know they made bowls of teriyaki pork in this big. And we only asked for a medium bowl of pork ramen. Tiger: I'm more surprised that they gave this for us for free. What kind of relationship has Isuku gotten with the local food places? Ragdoll: well, in any event, I'm sure he'll enjoy this. Though one of us is gonna have to feed him. Tiger: I told you we should have gotten him a dish he could eat through a straw. With a bit of effort, the two of them managed to get the large bowl through the front door. Isuku: woohoo. Ragdoll: is that Isuku? Tiger: what's got him so excited? Ragdoll and Tiger walk into the living room where they find Isuku and his whole class. They appear to be grouped up in pairs of two and sitting around a table playing a game of Monopoly. Minora: this is ridiculous, there's no way you curly creatines can roll a 12 3 times in a row. I call shenanigans. Mina: hey, it's not our fault, we're so lucky. Isuku: yeah. Denki: this is more than just dumb luck. Midoriya, I know you're using your quirk or something to make the dice land how you want them to. Koda: aren't you guys just mad because you landed on their property and had to pay 2k? Shoji: awfully petty of you two. The and M: shut up you damn hotel tycoons. Isuku: nishishishi, ha 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 ha. Denki: you making fun of us? What's so funny? Isuku: sorry, it's just that this is the first time I've ever played board games with friends and I'm having so much fun. I was so bummed out earlier, but now I'm happy. Thanks you guys. Toru: don't mention it. Okoyami: this is the least we could do after all you've done for us. Tenya: you're our leader, it's only fair that we support you when you need it. Ichako: yeah, that's what being friends is all about. Izuku: nishishishishi. Ragdoll: ah, my baby's got so many friends, I'm so happy. Tiger: calm down now. Izuku: oh, Ragni, Tiger Nai. Toru: whoa, no way, it's Tiger and Ragdoll from the Wild Pussycats. Ragdoll: yep, that's us. Sai: what are big time heroes like you doing here? Is it because of the recent? Ragdoll: sort of, we're really just here to watch over Izuku's recovery. Mina: huh, do you guys know him? Ragdoll: sure do, we're his family. Izuku: yeah. Ejiro: wait, really? Ragdoll: sure is, he's my adopted flesh and blood. Tiger: this should explain his mental state and personality for you. Izuku: they've raised me and my siblings since I was 10. Doesn't matter if there's no blood shared between us, we're family through and through. Ragdoll: that's my boy, he's got the Pussycat spirit. Minora: but he's a wolf though. Ragdoll: family is interspecies. Izuku: hell yeah. Ioka: yeah, I can definitely see where he gets everything from. Izuku: sniff sniff, something smells good. Ragdoll: oh yeah, almost forgot. We got you your ramen, expect now it's a giant bowl of udon that we had to collapse the passenger seat to fit in. Izuku: yummy, let me eat. Momo: after everything you already ate. Suddenly, there's a knock on the door that catches everyone's attention. Walking into the room is none other than Recovery Girl. RG: oh, I sure do hope I'm not interrupting a party or something. Izuku: ah, Recovery Girl, time for healing already? RG: that's right. It might take a while to fully heal your arms, so let's do this somewhere where we won't be in the way. Izuku: okay, got it. I'll be back real quick you guys. Nobody eat my udon. Zero: I doubt any of us could eat that much food. Izuku and Recovery Girl make their way to Izuku's room along with Luna. Tiger then proceeds to place Izuku's bowl of udon on his seat. IG: Midoriya sure does eat a lot when you look at it. Tiger: it's because he's got a wolf's appetite. Ejiro: but he's a human though. Ragdoll: yeah, but he was raised by wolves for 10 years. Mina: he was what? Ichako: oh, wait, Deku-kun did say he grew up as a wolf until he was 10. Denki: the hell, how does that even happen? Tiger: it's a long story. Hyoka: that reminds me, there's something I want to ask about Midoriya. Ragdoll: oh, well, what do you want to know? As his mother, I know everything about my little pup. Tiger: stop getting a big head over that. Hyoka: when I asked Midoriya if he got his quirk from his parents, he said he didn't know. He knows he's adopted and I do know that neither of his parents have his quirk, but wouldn't he know if it's like his relative's quirk or something? Ragdoll, Tiger and Namuri, who's been listening in the kitchen, widen their eyes and look at each other. Denki: Wait, how do you know his parents didn't have his quirk? Hyoka. You dumbus, he's the son of the Emerald Flame. Ichako. Wait, really? Hyoka. How did you not piece this together when both their last names are Midoriya? Enki. Give us a break, the dude passed away when we were practically infants, so oh, I see how the whole will thing kinda works now. Ragdoll. Kids, the thing about Izuku is. Tiger. Tomoko, are you sure about this? Ragdoll. Yeah, they're Izuku's friends. And I'm sure they can help if they know. Listen, kids. Izuku doesn't know about his parents. He doesn't know who they were or that they're dead. We've intentionally been keeping him unaware of everything. Denya. What? Ichako. Wait, is that really true? Momo. Why would you do that? For what reason would you possibly hide such a thing from Midoriya? Tiger. You've seen what Izuku can do. His power allows his body to bend to whatever whim he may have. That quirk has monstrous potential and could leave a trail of havoc and destruction. The only reason it hasn't is because of Izuku's mental state and calm heart. Revealing the truth would completely upset that balance. Mina. But why? Sure, he'd be upset, but would he really go out of control because of it? Ragdoll. He would when he realizes his parents were murdered. Sai. What? Tiger. Hisashi died in a fire, but the fire wasn't the cause of death. He was killed by a fatal injury to his chest. His wife and Izuku's mother, Inko, was killed similarly a few days later. Though we lack conclusive reasoning for a motive, it should be clear to you that this was murder, not an accident. If Izuku were to find out about this or even worse, meet the person who did this, his anger and bloodlust would no doubt overwhelm his sense of reasoning. He could lose himself and control over his quirk. Ragdoll. Please, I'm asking you all to keep this a secret from Izuku and to make sure that he doesn't learn about any of this from someone else. The students look at each other rather shocked from the startling news about their wolf classmate. After a moment of hesitation, they all nod at each other. Momo. We understand. Ichako. If it's for Deku's benefit, we'll do it. Hyoka. This probably won't be easy since everyone knows his dad, but we'll try our best. Ragdoll. Thank you. I'm so glad Izuku has friends like you all. Izuku. Woo. Izuku suddenly bursts into the room yelling while green flames envelope his whole body. Denya. Midoriya-kun. Izuku. I feel fantastic, practically good as new, haha. Izuku yells mentally as he punches his fists against each other and breaks apart his casts. He then rips off the bandages covering his chest, which works to show all of his new scars. Minora. Thank God I decided to wear dark pants. Izuku proceeds to grab the bowl of Uden and tear off the lid. He then starts downing the whole bowl like water. Zero. Dang, he's going at it. Ragdoll. Damn right he is. Enki. Chug 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 chug. Hyoka. And just like that, a serious moment was essentially turned into a joke. Tiger. He has a tendency to do that. We're leaving him in your care. The next day, Class 1A. School is now back in session after the temporary break, which was a result from the villain attack. After a full recovery from both Recovery Girl and his own phoenix feathers, Izuku's body was brought back to perfect health, aside from the large visible scars, one of which spans from the bridge of his nose to the upper right corner of his forehead. Right now, all of the students are sitting in their desks and waiting for homeroom to start. Toru. Hey, did you guys watch the news last night? Did you see how everyone in class was on screen for a second? I didn't stand out at all. Shoji. Indeed. Toru. Well, it's kind of hard for you to stand out like that. Enki. But man, all the channels made a big deal out of it. IG. Yeah, I was surprised. Hyoka. Can you blame them? The hero course that keeps pumping out pros was attacked and managed to fend off an invasion of actual villains on their own. Zero. Kinda feels a bit scummy to take credit for something like Midoriya and Izawa-sensei were really the ones who did everything. Who knows what would have happened if they weren't there. Minora. Stop that, Zero, just thinking about that is making me break in hives. Itsumi. Shut the hell up. Sato. But man, looking back at the whole thing, Midoriya, you really went ballistic there at the end. IG. Yeah, no offense man, but you look like a monster straight out of Hell or a fantasy board game. Didn't realize you had that kind of power in store. Izuku. Well, I kind of came up with it on the spot. And it's not like I can do that whenever I want. Using it took everything I had left in me, and my body was even more of a wreck afterwards. Ichako. It's kinda strange to think that a quirk that can pretty much do anything has drawbacks. Mina. Hey, Sue, any idea who's gonna teach homeroom today? Sai. Well, Izawa-sensei did get healed a bit by Midoriya-kun's feathers, but I heard he's in the hospital recovering further. Just then, the door to the classroom opens up to reveal a mummified Izawa. Izawa. Morning. Everyone. You're back way too soon. Enki. You're too much of a pro. Denya. So you're alright, Aizawa-sensei. Ioka. For Christ's sake, anyone mummified is not alright. Aizawa. I'll be fine. Midoriya, I want to thank you for the other day. For healing me and protecting everyone else in my stead. Izuku. Is alright. It's my job as pack leader anyways. Aizawa. I'm glad you think of it like that. Anyways, and more importantly, the fight isn't over yet. Katsumi. Fight. Izuku. You don't mean. Minoru. The villains again. Aizawa. The UA Sports Festival is drawing near. Everyone. That's a super normal school event. Enki. Wait, is it really alright to do this right after everything that just happened? Ajiro. What if we get attacked again or something? Aizawa. It was decided that by holding this event it will show that UA's crisis management system is rock solid. Security will also be strengthened by 5 times in comparison to previous years. This sports festival is our first huge chance for you guys, we won't cancel it over some villains. Minoru. That seems like a perfectly legitimate reason though. Aizawa. Our sports festival is one of Japan's biggest events. In the past, the Olympics were called a festival of sports and the whole country was crazy about them. As you know, with reductions in scale and population, they're now a shell of their former glory. And now for Japan, the UA Sports Festival has taken the place of the Olympics. Momo. Of course, all the top heroes of the country will be watching. For scouting purposes. Minoru. Yeah, we know that. Enki. After we graduate, it's typical to join a pro agency as a sidekick. Hyoka. A lot of people miss their chance to become independent after that and become eternal sidekicks though. Kaminari, I feel like you'd be one of them. You know, since you're not bright. Enki. Aizawa. Of course joining a famous hero agency will gain you more popularity and experience. Time is limited. If you expect to go pro, then the path to your future will open up at this event. 1 chance a year, a total of just 3 chances. No aspiring heroes can afford to miss this event. If you understand that, then don't slack off on your preparations. Everyone, yes sir. Later, at lunch. IG. Even after everything that happened, I'm so excited. Zero. If we put on a good show and stand out, we'll have taken the first step to becoming pros. Sato. It was worth coming to UA. Okoyami. We only get a few chances. We cannot afford to miss this. Toru. Ajiro, I'm getting kind of nervous now. I really need to stand out at the sports festival. Ajiro. But the pros might not notice you unless you try really hard after all. Yuga. Oh dear, what'll I do? I stand out just by standing still, so the scouts won't be able to stop looking at me, right? Yuga says while suddenly striking a pose at Koda, who understandably gets startled by it. Yuga. Right. Koda. Why yeah. Enki. You're so lucky, Shoji. Your bronze stands out on its own. Shoji. There's no point if I can't show off my usefulness. Hyoka. I think you'll PFFT, stand out too. Enki. I can tell what you're thinking about. Izuku. Everyone's so excited. Denya. Are you not? We enrolled here to become heroes, so it's only natural we'd get excited. Denya says while doing strange body movements. Sayu. You have a unique way of getting excited, Iida-kun. Denya. Midoriya-kun, don't you feel the same? Izuku. I do. But something's. Ichako. Deku, Iida. Izuku and Tenya turn to Ichako and are shocked to see her with a fiery aura and intense look in her eyes. Ichako. Let's do our best at the sports festival. Izuku. Oh Ichako, your face it's. Mina. What's the matter? You don't look carefree at all, even though that's what your name means. Minoru. PM. Minoru was about to say before getting cut off by Tsuyu slapping her in the face. Ichako then widens her feet and throws her fist in the air. Ichako. Everyone, I'm gonna do my best. Denya. Yeah. Mina. Yeah. Izuku. Why yeah. Tsuyu. Yeah. Ichako. I'm gonna do my best. Shiroiji Sato Tokoyami. Why yeah. IG. Seriously, what's wrong? Your personality is all over the place. Izuku. Oh yeah, now that I think about. I don't know why Ichako. Soon after Ichako's little scene, she, Tenya and Izuku exit the classroom and make their way to the cafeteria. Izuku. Ichako. Ichako. Izuku. Why did you decide to come to UA and be a hero? Ichako. Huh. Because it's for money. Izuku. You wanna be a hero for the money? Ichako. In laments terms, yes. Sorry, it's such an unwholesome reason. You two have such admirable motivations, it's embarrassing. Denya. Why though? How is having a goal to support your livelihood not admirable? Izuku. Yeah, it's just a little unexpected. Ichako. My family owns a construction company, but we haven't gotten any work at all, so we're flat broke. This isn't really something to tell other people though. Isuku. Oh, I get it. If you get a license, you'll be able to use your quirk and bring the costs way down. Tenya. She could make any raw metal float and they wouldn't need heavy equipment. Ichako. Right. That's what I told my dad when I was little, but you want to work for us? Ichako's father would say to a young little Ichako standing in front of him and her mother. Yeah, when I get big, I'll help you, and mommy, little Ichako says as she walks up to them with small tears in her eyes. Her father smiles and pats her head. I appreciate the thought, Ichako. But as your dad, I'd be even happier if you could achieve your dream. When that happens, you can take us to Hawaii, Ichako's dad says as he spreads his arms, and her mother smiles behind him. Daddy. Ichako. I'll definitely become a hero and make money and let my parents take it easy. Izuku and Tenya are left speechless from Ichako's earnest words. Tenya. Clapping, bravo Uraraka, bravo bravo. Izuku. I see. She's not just doing this for herself. She's doing it for her loved ones too. Ragdoll. I know that they loved you dearly, Izuku. I know you'll make a fine hero one day. Izuku looks at Ichako, who's smiling and blushing from Tenya's antics while he's thinking about Ragdoll. He smiles happily as a warm feeling builds up in his chest. All Might. Ah ha ha, young Midoriya is here. All Might yells as he comes out from around the corner and catches the three of them by surprise. Izuku. All Might. What up? All Might. Lunch, wanna eat together? All Might says as he holds up a small bento. Ichako. He's like a maiden. All Might. How about it? Izuku looks to Tenya, who nods at him with a smile. Izuku. Sure. I wonder what's going on. With Izuku leaving with All Might for the teacher's lounge, Ichako and Tenya head for the cafeteria by themselves. Ichako. I wonder what he wanted with Deku-kun. Tenya. I remember that All Might saved Midoriya-kun from being attacked by the villain with hands. There's also what Asui-san said. They both have immense physical power, so maybe All Might has taken a liking to him. He's really amazing. While the two of them are having their little conversation in the lunch line, they're completely unaware of a certain peppermint hair-colored individual listening in on them from nearby. Shoko. All Might and Izuku Midoriya. Meanwhile, in the teacher's lounge. Izuku. Only an hour. All Might. Yes. That's the limit on how long I can maintain one for all. I can barely maintain muscle form for about 1.5 hours too. This is the result of me doing it, but honestly it could have ended up being a lot worse if I had fought against that Nomu. I really have to thank you for that, my boy. Izuku. No, you don't have to. All Might. Blurg. All Might coughs up blood and cuts off Izuku. All Might. No, I really have to. In actuality, I should be apologizing for having you go through that. Here, have some tea. Izuku. Tea, thanks. All Might. More importantly, about the sports festival. You still can't regulate one for all, can you? Izuku. No, not really. But when I aimed my smash at the Nomu, my arm didn't break the first time. All Might. Oh, yeah, you did mention something like that. So what was different? Izuku. Different at the time, I thought of Nomu as a human. It was my first time using one for all against a person. All Might. Looks like you managed to unconsciously held back the power on your punch. That's good, it's a sign of progress. Izuku. There was also when I used my chimera form. My bones didn't break while using one for all. But when I transformed back, it all hit me at once. I made my chimera body as durable as possible, so that explains why I didn't break any bones, but I guess my human body couldn't take it. All Might. I see. It's a double-edged sword of sorts. A last resort if you ever need to fight using the full power of one for all. It'd be great if you could maintain that form for longer and if the repercussions weren't so severe. Izuku. Yeah. All Might. My boy, I honestly don't have much time left as the symbol of peace. Izuku. No way. All Might. And some of those with built-up villainous intent are beginning to realize. I granted you my power because I wanted you to succeed me. Izuku. I want to be a hero, I have to be strong enough to protect everyone. I will surpass you, I'll become even stronger than the strongest hero. All Might. You still feel the same as you did back then, don't you? Izuku. Yes. All Might. Then the time has come for you to show that. Izuku. All Might. The UA Sports Festival is something pro heroes know, the whole country is watching closely. A big event that is what I brought you here to talk about the next All Might, the fledgling symbol of peace, Izuku Midoriya. Izuku's eyes widen as he feels the overwhelming pressure his sensei is giving off right now. All Might clenches his fist and raises it up to his young successor. All Might. I want you to tell the world I am here. I want you to show them all who you really are. Roar proudly, young beast. Beginning of the sports festival. Izuku. I am here, but how? All Might. At the sports festival, the 4 courses will come together and fight through preliminary games of different types by class year. The students who make it through face off in the finals. This tournament is the perfect shot for you to sell yourself with everything that you've got. Izuku. Oh, I see. All Might. That's more like it, but of course, you'll need your quirks in order to truly stand out. Izuku. My quirks. All Might. I'm not saying you have to unleash that chimera power of yours or push one for all to its limits again, but for the sake of the sports festival and your future as a hero as a whole, you'll need to find some sort of compromise soon. Izuku. Right. All Might. We can think of that later. For now, you should get back to class. Lunch is almost over after all. Izuku. Okay, I'll see you later, All Might. Izuku says as he gives a wave to All Might and exits the room. Once he's sure that Izuku is gone, All Might sighs. All Might. Of course, with you taking part in the sports festival comes a great risk. Whoever killed your parents will see you and know that you're alive. But this also gives you a chance to show them that you're not their prey. You'll be able to show them that hunting you will be a big mistake. This is for your own good, young Midoriya. Later, after class. It's the end of the school day, and the students of class 1 are getting ready to head home. That's not such an easy task though, as the group find themselves blocked in by a crowd of students from other classes of the same year. Ichako. What's going on? Tenya. What business do you have with class A? Lenora. We can't get out. What do you guys want? Bitsumi. They're scouting out the enemy, Shrimp. Bitsumi says coldly as she walks past a small grapist. Bitsumi. We're the ones who came out of a villain raid. They probably want to scope us before the sports festival. Bitsumi comes to a stop in front of the crowd, unnerving the majority of them. Bitsumi. There's no point in doing stuff like that. Out of my way, extras. Tenya. Stop calling people extras just because you don't know them. I came to see what the famous Class A was like, but you seem pretty arrogant. The boy with unruly purple hair and purpler eyes who looks like he hasn't slept in days, says as he walks to the front of the crowd. Sleepy boy. Are all the students in the hero course like this? Bitsumi becomes irritated from his tone while Minora, Ichako and Tenya quickly shake their heads no behind her. SB. Seeing something like this really makes me disillusioned. There are quite a few people who enrolled in general studies or other courses because they didn't make it into the hero course. Did you know that? The school has left those of us a chance. Depending on the results of the sports festival, they'll consider our transfer into the hero course. And it seems they may also transfer people out. Scouting out the enemy. I, at the least, came to say that even if you're in the hero course, if you get too carried away, I'll sweep your feet out from under you. I came with a declaration of war. The sleepy boy glares at Kitsumi in the eyes. She meets his gaze with one of his own, putting the two in a stare down. Hey, hey. The loud voice suddenly yells out, breaking the silence between the two. They both see an angry-looking silver-haired girl. Angry girl. I'm from Class B next door. I heard you fought against villains, so I came to hear about it. Don't get so full of yourself. If you bark too much, it'll be embarrassing for you during the real fight. Izuku. The only one barking without bite is you. Izuku says as he walks in front of the door and stands behind Kitsumi. He looks down at the students who he towers above. Izuku. You want to start war, you'd better bring a bigger army. You want to say you're better than us, you ought to back that up. I don't care what you think, but we earn our place here. If you want to challenge my pack for our spots, then go ahead, just remember. Izuku bends down so his face is right next to Kitsumi's and he's at eye level with the rest of the students. Izuku. Right now, we the top dogs here. We ain't going down without a fight. Izuku says, leaving quite the impression on everyone. That is, aside from Kitsumi. Kitsumi. Damn mutt, can't you mind your own damn space for a minute? Kitsumi yells as she proceeds to slap Izuku across the face. Izuku. Ah, damn it, what the hell that for? I was sticking neck out for you. Kitsumi. I don't remember asking you a damn thing. Izuku. This how you treat me after I save your ass at USJ? Kitsumi. You didn't save shit, I was doing fine on my own. Izuku. Yeah, right, you wouldn't make it into Plaza if not for me. Kitsumi. Screw off, at least I didn't get my ass handed to me by an overgrown penguin. Izuku. What was that? You better prepare yourself for beating at sports festival. Kitsumi. The only one taking a beating will be you, you dog hick. The two growl at each other like feral dogs while everyone watches this display. They both continue to argue and bark at each other while making their way out of school. Ag. Damn it, you bastards, get back here. IG. That was so freaking manly. Enki. Huh. Sato. You said it. Enki. Huh. Tokoyami. The top dogs. Huh. That sounds about right. Enki. Are you guys serious right now? They both just declared war against all the other first years. Minoru. Yeah, this'll make the sports festival even more of a hell. And so, with the sports festival approaching, the young heroes in training prepare themselves. Using the 2 weeks they have, the students put all their energy and effort into refining their quirks and combat capabilities. With a limited time to them, they had to push their training to the absolute hardest that they could. In the blink of an eye, those 2 weeks had passed and the sports festival was upon them. UA Sports Festival Stadium, Class 1 awaiting room. Mina. Man, I wanted to wear my hero costume. Ajiro. Well, to keep things fair, we can't really. Sato. I wonder what the first round's gonna be. I'm getting kinda nervous about it. Tokoyami. Regardless of what may come, we'll just have to deal with it. Shoji. Yeah, we just have to adapt and overcome whatever they throw at us. Tenya. Everyone, are you ready? We'll be entering soon. Tenya yells as he bursts through the door. Izuku upon hearing this decides to stand up and start stretching. Minoru right next to him is writing the kanji for man on her palm repeatedly and eating it. Shoko. Midoriya. Izuku and Minoru would stop what they're and they, as well the others would look to see Shoko approaching Izuku. Izuku. Shoko. What is it? Shoko. Look at it realistically and objectively, it's obvious that your power and strength surpasses everyone else in this room. Izuku would narrow his eyes at Shoko and keep his silence. He wasn't sure of what she was trying to convey. Shoko. That being said, All Might has his eye on you, doesn't he? Izuku is caught off guard. He hadn't expected someone to catch on, especially this quickly. Shoko. I won't pry any deeper into the matter, especially since I feel that it won't give me any answers. But right here, right now, I will beat you. Everyone watching is shocked to hear such a fierce declaration coming out of the normally stoic and cold Shoko's mouth. Enki. Is this a declaration of war between the two strongest? Ig. Hey, were you picking a fight now? Not now when we're about to begin. Shoko. I didn't come here to play at being friends, so who cares? Shoko says as she turns around and tries to walk away. Izuku however grabs her arm, causing her to turn back around. Izuku. In a wolf pack, it's not unusual for alpha to get challenged. It happened to me many times in old pack after I become alpha. Everyone here, every other student, they're all aiming for the top alongside you. Me included. If you want fight me then I accept challenge. But, know this. I never once lost against anyone. Shoko glares at Izuku before pulling her arm away. She walks out of the room, leaving a cold atmosphere behind her. Present Mick. Hey, everybody. Present Mick would yell out on screen, making everybody in the stadium cheer loudly. PM. Pay attention, audience swarm, mass media. This year's high school rodeo of adolescence that you all love, the UA Sports Festival, is about to begin. Are you all ready? It's time for the students to enter the first year stage. Meanwhile, at the Pussycats mountain base. Ragdoll. Come on guys, hurry up, Izuku's gonna come out soon. Tiger. Hold your horses, these snacks aren't gonna prepare themselves. Ragdoll. But you're gonna miss it. Mandalay. Tomoko, we're taping this. Ragdoll. Watching it taped isn't the same as watching it live. Pixie Bob. You're really acting like a child now. While the four of them are busy getting set up on the couch, a certain baseball cap wearing child and Wolf are both watching from outside the room while snacking on cookies. Back at the stadium, All Might and the other teachers are looking down at the grounds. All Might stares at an entrance to the grounds intently. All Might. I want you to tell the world I am here. Izuku. Got it, All Might. From out of one of the many dark tunnels, Class 1 led by their green-haired pack leader walk out boldly. PM. The UA Sports Festival, the huge battle where fledgling heroes sharpen their swords once a year anyway, these are the guys, right? The miraculous rising stars who overthrew an enemy invasion with their hearts of steel. Hero course, Class 1A, right? The crowd cheers wildly as Izuku and his pack step to the center of the stadium. Izuku. There sure are a lot of people here. Denya. I wonder if we'll be able to perform our best with so many people watching. I suppose this is also a requirement for being a hero. Ig. Man, he's going crazy with the praise. I'm getting kinda nervous. Aren't you, Bakugo? Tatsumi. Nah, this is just getting me more pumped. PM. They haven't been getting as much airtime, but this class is also full of talent. Hero course, Class 1B. From the tunnel adjacent to the one Izuku's class came out of walks another group led by the sliver-haired girl from 2 weeks ago. PM. Next up, General Studies Classes C, D and E. 3 more classes walk onto the grounds with Izuku's class. One of said classes has the purple-haired boy who stood up to Kitsumi in it. PM. Support course classes F, G and H are here too, and business course classes I, J and K. All of UA's first years are here. The crowd cheers as 6 more classes walk onto the grounds and join the other classes. 1C boy. We're just here to make those guys look good, huh? 1C girl. I'm really not feeling any of this. Midnight. Time for the player pledge. All the males in the stadium start whistling and hooting like dogs as Midnight walks up to a podium. Spectator. Oh, this year's chief umpire for the first years is the R-rated hero, Midnight. Male hero. What about the principal? Male hero too. The principal is at the 3rd year stage every year. IG. What is Ms. Midnight wearing? Denki. That's an R-rated hero for you. Okoyami. I still question how she's allowed to be at a high school. Minora. Show off. Midnight. Quiet down, everyone representing the students is Izuku Midoriya from class 1A. Midnight says as she points her tassel at Izuku. Izuku nods at her and starts walking up to the podium. Minora. We sure having Midoriya speak is the best option. Denki. Yeah, I'm kinda questioning his ability to give a speech. Momo. Well, he did finish first in the entrance exam. 1C girl. Sai irritated in the hero course. Momo. Alright. Zero. It's obvious she hates us. Denki. Yeah, and it's all because of you and Midoriya, Bakugo. Bitsumi. Screw off. While the students are having their own thoughts, the heroes and other people in the crowd are busy murmuring amongst themselves. Snake heroine. Did she just say Midoriya? As in Hisashi Midoriya, the Emerald Flame. Dragon heroine. The former 7 hero who died 10 years ago. You think he's related to him? Alien hero. I think I heard that he had a son, but I also heard that he died too. Bass hero. But you can't deny that they do look alike. The heroes continue to chatter all the while a certain flaming individual is intently watching Izuku at the podium. Izuku adjusts the microphone stand to his height and clears his throat. Izuku. On behalf of my fellow classmates, I'd like to thank you all for coming to watch us compete today. I'm aware that many of you have only come here after hearing about the incident that happened to my classmates and I. I'm also aware that many of our fellow first years have come to resent us because of the attention we're receiving because of that. On that matter, I would like to say that what we were doing that day wasn't any action or some sort of stunt to boost our reputation. What we were doing was surviving. The students and audience all watch confused by Izuku's statement. His classmates on the other are more surprised by his smooth speech. Izuku. We're just kids. Being suddenly thrown into a situation like that was of course too much for us to handle. We were scared and confused. We were separated and scared not only for each other's lives, but for our own as well. It's a selfish survival instinct. We relied on our teachers to protect us, but even they had their limits. Scared as we were, we fought back. And we did it. We broke past our fears and limits and won. My fellow first years, I understand if you resent us because of the attention we're receiving, but don't any of you dare disrespect my pack by saying we're cocky and too arrogant for our positions. Izuku grabs the mic from the stand and turns around to stare down at the students. Izuku. I want to be a hero. And so does everyone in my class. I've said this before and I'll repeat it as many times as I have to. We worked hard and proved ourselves in the entrance exam. No matter what anyone has to say to us, we earned our place in the hero course. And like I've said before, you're welcome to try and take them from us. Izuku smirks and points his index finger at the students. Izuku. If you want your time in the spotlight, you'd better do something worth it. The sports festival is a chance for everyone to shine, but it's up to you to take it. Izuku quickly turns and points his finger to the crowd of heroes and cameramen. Izuku. And I wouldn't just keep my eyes on my class if I were you. Anyone here could become a star that shines brighter than everyone else. Everyone here carries the potential of being a hero. Izuku yells out loudly with a wide bright smile on his face as he leans back to face the sky. The students from other classes and people in the audience look at Izuku astounded after being taken back by his words. The Pussycats back at the mountain base all have smiles on their faces, with ragdolls being the largest. Izuku. So to end off my speech, I encourage everyone to do their bests and everyone watching to keep your eyes peeled for the excitement to come. Ah, I almost forgot. For those of you who still have doubts about my pack. Izuku turns around once more to the students. He gives off a small confident smirk for everyone to see. Izuku. Just watch, we'll show you why we're standing where we are. And with that, Izuku takes a bow and hands the microphone over to Midnight. As he steps down from the podium, the audience starts to cheer loudly for Izuku. He smiles and waves back to all of them. Denya. Midoriya-kun, that was such an incredible speech. IG. It was so goddamn manly. Izuku. Thanks guys. Momo. It was incredibly well delivered as well. Mineta. Yeah, I didn't think you could give a speech that clear. Izuku. Well, I knew about speech beforehand, so I prepare and memorize it yesterday. Zero. Huh, I kinda figured you were the proactive type. Midnight. Now that the pledge is done, let's get things started. Here's the first event. This one is what you'd call a qualifier. A lot of first years drink their tears here. And without further ado, here it is. Midnight exclaims loudly as a holographic screen appears behind her. Displayed on the screen in big bright letters are the words obstacle race. Momo. An obstacle race. Midnight. All 11 classes will participate in this race. The course will be the outer circumference of the stadium, about 4 kilometers. Our school's selling point is freedom. As long as you stay on the course, you can do anything. Now, everyone get to your places. Following Midnight's instructions, the students walk through a large red gate that leads to a narrow passageway. Izuku. All Might. All Might. I want you to tell the world I am here. Izuku. I understand. Even without full control. 2 green lights on the red gate turn off, making the students get ready. Izuku. I'll go beyond plus ultra. The final light goes out and a loud air horn resounds. Midnight. Start. But that signal, all the students charge as the race begins. PM. Alright, here's the play-by-play. Are you ready, mummy man? Izawa. You're the one who forced me here. PM. Let's get started right away, mummy man. What should we pay attention to in the early stages? Izawa. This part right now. Izawa says, referring to all the students struggling to get through the tunnel. 1D boy. Hey, move it. 1E girl. Ouch, this place is too tight. Izawa. They shouldn't think that getting away from the starting line will be easy. Just then the ground starts to freeze, trapping many of the students. Jutting out of the tunnel is none other than Shoko. Shoko. Sorry, but. Shoko does a quick turn and swings her right arm. This creates a giant ice dome that seals off the exit. Shoko. I don't plan on losing to you. Shoko turns back and gets back to running the course. Not even seconds later, a large boom and the sound of ice shattering resounds behind Shoko. Izuku. Not bad, Shoko. But you better remember. Shoko looks back while running to see her ice shattered to pieces. In its place is a large muscular figure. The students stare in shock at the bipedal wolf humanoid with gray fur covered in green markings. The figure looks up with his green eyes glowing and a smirk plastered on his face. Izuku. Mythical beast Fang werewolf, you're not just fighting your alpha. From the crowd of students behind Izuku, Momo, IG and Kitsumi burst forth and soar past him. Izuku. You're fighting the whole pack. Ooh. Izuku howls out loud to the sky, sending a chill down the spines of the other students. Momo. That was a naive mistake, Todoroki-chan. IG. Yeah, now you got Midoriya fired up. Kitsumi. You're not taking the lead that easily, you half and half bitch. Izuku stops his howling and smirks again. He gets down on all fours with the ice beneath him starting to crack. Izuku. Here I go. Izuku yells as he charges forwards like a wild beast. The ice isn't slowing him down in the slightest, unlike many of the others. Shoko. He chose a form to combat the ice, huh? Shoko glares at Izuku as several large thick ice walls appear in his path. Seeing this, Izuku can't help but smirk cockily. Izuku. I'm not the same as I was back then, Shoko. This won't stop me, twin beast Fang. Izuku's arms, legs, chest and head become covered in leathery armor like plates. 2 long horns appear on his forehead and a smaller one sprouts just above his nose. Izuku. Triceratops armor. Izuku charges and smashes through the ice walls with little to no difficulty. Once he's done, he loses his plating and changes back to his werewolf form. Izuku. Mixing and rapid transformations put strain on my body, but those 2 weeks really seem to have paid off. Izuku's ears pick up a bouncing sound rapidly approaching him from behind. Bouncing across the ice on several purple balls is none other than Minoura. Minoura. You're not the only one who outsmarted Todoroki, Midoriya. Izuku. Minoura. Minoura. You'd better be ready to share that first place. Minoura says with a devious look on her face. She plucks off 2 balls and bounces straight to Izuku. Minoura. Let me ride you, wolf boy. Before she can reach Izuku, she gets punched in the face and blown away by a mechanical claw. Izuku. Minoura. Izuku comes to a quick stop and transforms his tail into a snake. His snake tail stretches to Minoura and catches her by wrapping itself around her. The tail retracts and brings the grapus to Izuku. Izuku. You okay? Minoura. A bondage with a snake, I must have died and gone to heaven. Izuku. Well, you sound okay. But more importantly, those things. Izuku looks forward and sees a group of the faux villains from the entrance exam. Towering just a bit behind them are about a dozen massive zero-pointer robots. PM. Here comes the first barrier robot hell. Enki. The entrance exam bots. And 0-pointers no less. 1D guy. There's way too many of them. 1C girl. The hero course had to fight these things. 1E. This is what they meant by obstacles. How do we get past that? Shoko. So this is what they used in the general entrance exam. Momo. Where do they get the money for these things? One of the 0-pointers in the front throws its arm down and takes aim at Shoko. Shoko. If they went through all this trouble, I wish they would have prepared something better. The ground around Shoko freezes and small ice spikes form. Shoko. Since my shitty old man is watching. Shoko swings her arm and a massive wave of ice rises up from the ground and attacks the 0-pointer. The ice spreads and freezes the entire bot. Shoko takes a deep exhale as icy mist exits her mouth. She then proceeds to run through the legs of the frozen bot. 1H boy. She stopped it. 1K girl. Between its legs, we can get through. Shoko. I wouldn't if I were you. I froze it while it was unbalanced. As if on time, the ice around the 0-pointer starts to crack and the bot begins to topple over. Sure enough, the bot completely falls over creating a massive dust cloud all the while Shoko just keeps on nonchalantly running. PM. An elegant defense and offense in one move. That's Todoroki from class 1, a truly amazing, not to mention she's the first one through. It's practically unfair. Izawa. Her actions are strategic and logical. PM. As expected of someone who got in through recommendation, she's never fought them before, but those Robo Infernos couldn't get past her elite moves. Izawa. Her power paid off here against an unknown opponent. But now is the time to see how that raw power compares to those with experience. From out of the dust cloud comes a small battalion of 1-pointers. Many of the students outside of the hero course are hesitant on moving forward. At the front of the group, Isuku stands tall and unwavering. He lowers Minora and transforms his tail back to normal. He bends his knees and gets in a lunging position while holding his claws at his side. He narrows his eyes and lunges forward at the bots. He vanishes and reappears behind the bots. Izuku. Vargasviti. All the bots behind Izuku suddenly fall apart into sliced pieces. Izuku then quickly turns his attention to the fallen over 0-pointer. Izuku. IG, you okay? The sounds of metal bending and being torn apart are heard and an angry IG suddenly bursts out of the robot's head. IG. I'm fine. That ass Todoroki, if it was anyone else but me, they'd be dead. PM. Here's a little character inside IG Kirishima of class 1, a quirk. Hardening her body can get super hard, she can become the strongest shield or the strongest spear. Just then, the sound of metal bending and tearing apart are heard again. At class 1A. Suddenly, the angry girl from the other day bursts out of the robot with her skin now a metallic gray. Ag. Really is full of bastards. PM. Tetsu of class 1B was also underneath. That's crazy. Tetsu. If it was anyone else but me, they'd be dead. PM. Tetsu quirk. Steel. Her body can become like steel. She can become the strongest shield or the strongest spear. IG. Crying. Our quirks are pretty much the same. I had a hard enough time standing out before. Tetsu. Wait, you little. Izuku. Nishishishi, keep it up, IG him. Izuku leans back to avoid a 1-pointer trying to jab him in the face. He bites down on the bot's arm and rips it clean off. He grabs the robot's head and slams it hard into the ground, creating a massive crater. Izuku. Varga raid. The sounds of explosions hit Izuku's ears, causing him to look up. There he sees Katsumi propelling herself over a 0-pointer using explosions. Katsumi. I said I'm not letting you take the lead. 0. I figured you'd plow straight through, but turns out you can go around when you want to, huh? Okoyami. Nice idea, I'll make use of it as well. Katsumi looks behind her to see Zero rising up the bot with his tape and Tokoyami climbing using his dark shadow. Katsumi. You cheap copycats. Izuku. Damn, the others are moving fast. I can't just let them get ahead of me. And I'd better be flashy as I take first place. Izuku says to himself mentally with a smirk. His body then bursts into a large ball of emerald green flames. The flames rise into the air and take the form of a giant bird. Izuku. Now then, instead of just flying over. The shape of the flames condenses and turn into a green bird wearing Izuku's sports uniform with blazing wings and tail feathers. His eyes take aim for the center of the robot. Izuku. I'll take a more direct route. Phoenix. Izuku wings and tail feathers burn brighter and more intensely. He jets at the giant robot and spins rapidly. He points his talon at the bot and caws loudly. Izuku. Drive. Izuku talon clashes against the bot's chest. The bot's chest immediately heats up immensely and in no time, Izuku melts and bursts through the robot. Everyone watches amazed as the molten metal of the robot drips to the ground like rain. Izuku. See ya. Izuku attempts to fly away, but he senses something coming at him. He turns around and uses his leg to block an explosion from Kitsumi. Kitsumi. I'm not letting you get ahead of me either. Izuku. Think you can stop me? Izuku yells as he uses his superior leg power to push Kitsumi down and knock her back in the air. Izuku then takes a deep breath and fills his lungs with air. Izuku. Yeah. Izuku screeches and lets out a sonic blast. The blast not only sends Kitsumi, Shiro and Tokoyami crashing to the ground, but also causes the robot he melted through to start toppling over. Izuku stops screeching and hovers in the air. Izuku. Can't have you guys catch up to me. Guess I'll add own obstacle. Izuku enlarges his wings and spins rapidly. His flames intensify, causing him to glow brightly. Izuku. Phoenix Pyreapple. Izuku stops spinning and spreads his massive wings. He creates a giant wall of green flames behind the zero-pointer bots. Izuku. See ya. Enki. Hey, Midoriya, what the heck, we're still back here. Mina. Yeah, what about us? Izuku. I'm sure you guys can find your way past. Kitsumi. You damn mutt. Izuku flaps his wings and takes flight after Shoko. At this moment the cameras zoom in and focus on him. PM. What power? Not only did Midoriya decimate a zero-pointer, he also set up a firewall to stop everyone else in their tracks. This feels like cheating, but it ain't here. Izawa. Aren't you forgetting something? PM. Oh, right, here's a little info on the top dog of the first years, Izuku Midoriya of Class 1, a quirk. God body, is that seriously the name they went with? His quirk allows him to freely manipulate his body and alter it to do whatever he wants, including mimicking other quirks. Alien hero. What kind of broken ability is that? Dragon heroine. Hisashi didn't have that kind of quirk. PM. Ah, what's this? Todoroki has already reached the second barrier. At that moment, Shoko finds herself standing in front of a giant chasm. In the chasm are several giant stone pillars connected by thin ropes. PM. If you don't wanna fall, then crawl, it's the fall. Shoko. They really decided on something this simple. Shoko says as she walks up to a rope. She freezes it and starts gliding across it. PM. And she just slides over it. Izuku. Gotcha, Shoko. Shoko turns around to see Izuku flying up in the air behind her. PM. Oh, here comes Midoriya, let's see how he takes on the barrier. Present Mick yells only for Izuku to fly straight over the chasm. PM. And he just flies over it. Izuku. Hope you don't mind me taking the lead. Shoko. Damn it. Shoko reaches a pillar and uses her ice to launch herself up at Izuku. She then out of nowhere jumps onto Izuku's blazing back and grabs him by the neck. Izuku. What the heck you doing? I'm on fire. Shoko. It doesn't matter how hard you burn, I can always keep freezing over. Izuku. You little. Izuku rolls while flying and violently thrashes around in an attempt to throw Shoko off. She hangs on with all her strength as they approach the end of the obstacle. PM. Todoroki's not giving an inch despite Midoriya's best efforts. Has she really got the number 1 pinned? Izuku. This is getting on my nerves. If flames don't work. Izuku's body suddenly turned pitch black and appears to start increasing in size. His flames extinguish and the sky darkens. Izuku. Maybe shocks can do the job, mythical beast Fang Thunderbird. Thunder roars as the clouds start sparking with lightning. Anticipating what might happen, Shoko lets go of Izuku and jumps off just as lightning strikes his back. She lands on the ground at the very end of the chasm. PM. Amazing, just like that, both Midoriya and Todoroki cross the second barrier at the same time, all that's left is the final barrier. PM yells as the cameras show an open area that has multiple dark spots in the ground. PM. A massive minefield. They may not be dangerously powerful, but they sure will set you back and are loud and flashy enough to make you wet your pants. You'll be able to tell where the mines are if you look hard, but you still gotta tread carefully unless of course. Just then a large black shadow covers the minefield. The cameras pan up to show Izuku flying overhead. PM. You can fly. Izuku. Too easy, guys, I pretty much already won. PM. Because of Midoriya's abilities, this barrier doesn't affect him in the slightest, there's nothing standing in his way, and with the finish line right there, it's pretty much guaranteed that he'll win him. Wait, what's this? Back on the ground, ice is quickly spreading and covering over the mines. Shoko is skating on the grass and quickly moving forward. Shoko. I don't have time to worry about making a path for the others. PM. Todoroki's still in hot pursuit, but does she have a chance? Shoko. Go down, Midoriya. Shoko swings her arm and raises several ice spikes aimed at Izuku. Izuku notices this and shrinks his body to avoid the attacks. Izuku. Shoko, I won't let you stop me, in fact, I might as well stop you. Izuku turns around and grows back to max size. He holds his wings out in front of him and takes aim at Shoko. A ball of electricity then forms between his wings. Izuku. Shockwave pulse. Izuku yells and fires the electric ball at Shoko. Shoko creates an ice wall in front of her and uses it to stop herself. The electrical ball crashes into the ground in front of her. A patch of mines is triggered by this and explode. The explosion blasts Shoko and her ice wall away, knocking her back onto the ice. Izuku smirks and turns back around. He descends to the ground at the end of the minefield and lands. He transforms back to his werewolf form. Shoko gets back up and tries to skate after him on her ice. Those two manage to clear the final obstacle in an instant. Your class is amazing, Eraserhead. What are you teaching them? Izawa. I didn't do anything. They got each other fired up on their own. Izuku charges through the tunnel leading into the stadium. He can hear Shoko quickly catching up. He speeds up, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel so closely in his reach. Here they come. The first person back in the stadium is. The crowd watch intently as the sound of footsteps are heard from the tunnel. Confetti rains down, and the crowd starts cheering wildly as Izuku charges proudly into the stadium. Izuku Midoriya, the beast of UA, makes a big splash. Izuku transforms back to normal and throws his arms up in the air with a massive smile on his face. Ragdoll. Crying smiling Izuku. Tiger. Attaboy. Mandalay. Calm down, Tomoko. You're getting the popcorn wet. Pixie Bob. It's still just the first event, you know. Outside the stadium, Death Arms catches a glimpse of Izuku on the outdoor screens. Hey, isn't that Kamui? Oh yeah, it's that kid from a year ago. Mount L. Ah, it's that cute puppy. Elsewhere, a certain individual is watching the festival play out in a dark room on a monitor. Bad brat. Izuku waves at all the people in the stadium cheering for him. Looking at the teacher's booth, he sees All Might and the other teachers clapping for him. Izuku turns to his direction and clenches his fist, still with a smile on his face. All Might smiles back proudly and nods at the young wolf. All Might. I want you to tell the world I am here. All Might. You're off to a great start, my boy. Cavalry. All Might. This sports festival is a competition where they have to aim for the top, even if it means defeating their friends and classmates. Modern heroes depend a lot on their popularity, so they need to have that desire to be above all others. At your core, you're a hero who wants to help others. That's why I chose you. But I thought that would be your weakness. Seems I was worried for nothing. All Might would think to himself as he watched Izuku enjoy the attention he's getting from everyone in the crowd. One-eye boy. Any thoughts? 1J boy. Midoriya stocks are definitely gonna climb fast. 1K boy. He has an incredible quirk and even more incredible lineage, but his personality seems rather wild and unpredictable. If you took management of an agency, how would you market him? Opinions. 1J boy. He's tall and muscular, and in terms of looks he's not half bad either. Plus his ears and tail will really appeal towards animal lovers and animal-based quirk holders. All Might. Sweat drop. The business course hasn't changed, I suppose. One by one, all the students run back into the stadium through the gate. Kitsumi is busy catching her breath after making it into third place. Kitsumi. Damn it, again I lost to that damn mud again, son of a bitch, this can't go on. And here the rest of them come pouring in one after another. We'll do the rankings in a bit, but for now, good job. Nearby, Shoko is using her quirk to cool down while panting heavily. She sends a sharp glare towards Izuku before clicking her tongue and turning the other cheek. Ichako. Deku-kun, you were amazing. Izuku would turn to see Ichako running up to him, all the while Tenya could be seen sulking in the background. Ichako. First place is amazing, that's so frustrating, dang it. Izuku. Blush. Thanks. Mina. Hey, Midori, don't think we've forgotten about that stupid flame wall you put up. Denki. Yeah, man, what the hell was that? Izuku. Sorry guys, but at least you made it past that. While the two are busy being angry at Izuku, Momo is at the same time shambling tiredly through the gate. Momo. Pant, it wasn't supposed to be this way. Momo says as she looks back at Minora, who's currently attached herself to her back. Minora. Blush nosebleed, this is pretty good in its own right. Momo. You're the worst. After everyone finishes the obstacle course, the top 42 competitors gather in the center of the stadium, with Midnight standing in front of them on the podium. Midnight. The first game of the first year stage is finally over now, please take a look at the results. Midnight exclaims as the screen behind her lights up and displays the qualifying students ranked from 142, with Izuku in first place, Shoko in second and Kitsumi in third. Midnight. The top 42 made it through into the next round. It's unfortunate, but there's no reason to worry even if you didn't make the cut. There's a special event prepared that'll allow everyone to show off their skills. We'll reveal it after the main event, so please be patient. Now then, onto the real competition. The press cavalry'll be all over it, give it your all. Midnight flicks her whip and activates the roulette that'll determine the next game. Midnight. Now, here's the next game. What's it gonna be? I already know what it is, but could it be? I already said what it is and here it comes. Midnight exclaims as the roulette comes to a stop and reveal the next event to be cavalry battle. Enki. A cavalry battle. I suck at those, man. Sigh. This one isn't an individual event, so I wonder how it's going to work. Midnight. Allow me to break it down for you like a regular cavalry battle. You guys are allowed to form teams of up to 4 people. However, each member of your team has been assigned a point value based on the results of the last game. Sato. Like the entrance exam, huh? That's easy to understand. Ichako. So that means that each team will have a different total value depending on who's on it. Mina. Oh, I get it. Midnight. You little brats don't hold back even when I'm talking, don't you? First years. Scary. Midnight. In any event, you got it right. Starting from 42nd place at 5 points, the value of each rank goes up by 5 points. And at the top the point value of first place is. Izuku's ears wiggle as he gets a bad feeling from the look on Midnight's face. Midnight. 10 million. Izuku. That math don't add up. Sleepy boy. 10 million, huh? Ogle girl. In other words, if you take down the first place player's team. Everyone. You can stand at the top no matter what place you're in. Midnight. Smirk. That's right. It's survival of the fittest, with a chance for those at the bottom to overthrow the top. Izuku. Geez, I can feel their eyes glaring at my back. Still, I guess this is as good a time as any to show them. Izuku cracks his neck twice and exhales loudly. He then punches his fists against each other before looking over his shoulder at the small army of students. His intimidating eyes are enough to send a chill down the spines of the group. Izuku. What the top of the food chain looks like. Midnight. Nice, he's all fired up now then, I'll explain the rules. The event lasts for 15 minutes. Each team is worth a total of its members' points, and the riders will wear a headband with that number on their foreheads. Teams will try to grab each other's headbands and try to keep as many points as they can until time's up. Stolen headbands must be worn from the neck up, making it harder to manage the more headbands you've got. The most important thing to remember is that even if your headband gets stolen, or if your team falls, you're not out. Momo. Which means. Sato. There'll be between 10 or 12 teams on the field since there's 42 of us. Yuga. That's tough. Mina. One strategy could be to let someone take your points so you can move around without being targeted. Sai. Hard to say if we don't know how the points end up getting split up, Mina-chan. Midnight. This game will be a cruel fight where you can use your quirks. But it's still a cavalry battle. You'll get a red card for attacks that aim to make people fall on purpose. You'll be removed immediately. Hitsumi. Damn. Midnight. Starting now, you've got 15 minutes to build your team, go. Izuku. I don't need to worry about gaining points. I need to focus mainly on defense. And I've already picked out who I want on my team. Sato. Team up with me. Mina. Come on, Kitsumi, team up with me. Yuga. Twinkle admitted, you want to team up with me. Kitsumi. What the hell are your quirks again? Mina. I can understand not knowing 1Bs but. Sato. She really doesn't pay attention to anything around her. All Might. She may have such a strong personality, but she still came in third with 200 points. Considering the range of capabilities of her quirk, it's no wonder she's popular. IG. Hey, Todoroki's finished choosing her team already. Bakugo, make a team with me. Kitsumi. Weird hair. IG. It's Kirishima, come on, at least try to remember my name, and our hair ain't even that different. You're gonna be the rider, right? Then you'll need a front horse who can tank your blasts. Kitsumi. Someone with guts. IG. Not what I was going for, but yeah, with my hardening, I'll be a horse that never wavers. You wanna get the 10 million doncha. Hearing IG's words causes a large toothy grin to grow on Kitsumi's face. Minoru. Hey there, Mr. Octopus. Shoji turns around hearing Minoru calling out to him. Minoru. What do you say to helping out a girl in need? Shoji. Shoji turns his back to Minoru and begins to walk away. Minoru. No wait, please, none of the other boys want me on their teams. I'm too small to be a horse, but no one'll want to be my horse. If I'm the rider with your huge body and tentacles, you can cover my body, can't you? Right. Shoji comes to a stop, hearing Minoru's proposition. He turns around and creates a smirking mouth on the end of one of his tentacles. Shoji. That's not a bad idea, Mineta. Izuku, shit, teams are already forming, and everyone's totally avoiding me. Hey Kyoka. Kyoka, sorry Midoriya. Turns away. Izuku. Kyoka, damn it, no one wants to team up with someone that everybody's gonna be targeting for the whole 15 minutes, what the hell am I supposed to do? Ichako. Deku-kun. Izuku snaps out of his thoughts and looks towards Ichako who's standing near him. Ichako. Let's team up. Izuku stares blankly at Ichako for a moment while blinking. His tail then starts wagging fast enough to generate a small but strong breeze, and his face starts to turn red. Izuku. EA? Really? You wanna team up with me? You sure? Ichako. Yeah, I know there's no way you can lose. Smile. Besides, it's way better to team up with friends. Izuku's tail goes stiff from Ichako's words before he drops to his knees while clutching his chest. Ichako. Deku-kun, are you okay? Izuku. I'm fine. So bright, this girl really isn't good for my heart. I was actually hoping you'd join my team. And with you on board, there's one more person we need to get on the team. Ichako. I think I know who you're talking about. Izuku. Then let's go get him. Oi, Tenya. Izuku would yell out, grabbing the attention of his nearby friend. Tenya would look to see Izuku and Ichako running up to him. Izuku. Let's team up. Tenya. Huh? Izuku. With two of us as runners and Ichako quirk, we uncatchable. We last whole round without losing points. Ichako. Yeah. Tenya. I see, you thought this through, Midoriya-kun. As expected. However, I'm afraid I'll have to decline. EA. Why? Tenya would look down in thought with a rather serious expression on his face. Tenya. Ever since the entrance exam, I've done nothing but lose to you. You're an amazing friend, but if I simply follow in your footsteps, I'll see no growth to myself as an individual. Tenya raises his head and looks up at Izuku with a determined glare. Tenya. Bakugo and Todoroki are not the only ones who consider you their rivals. I want to surpass you as well, which is why I'll challenge you. I'm going to come at you with everything I have, so prepare yourself, Midoriya-kun. Tenya would proclaim before walking off to join a team consisting of Shoko, Momo and Denki. Ichako. Ida-kun. Izuku. That's right, I can't just go thinking that I have allies here. This is war where everyone's aiming for the top, everyone here is an enemy. Haha, it's even better than I imagined. You stand out just perfectly. A loud voice booms out from behind, causing Izuku and Ichako to turn around. Izuku is immediately met with a goggle-wearing girl right in his face. GG. Team up with me, person in first place. Izuku. Who the hell are you? GG. I'm Mei Hatsum from the support course. The girl would introduce herself while flipping up her goggles to reveal her abnormal pupils. Ichako. Oh, you're that weird person from before. Mei. I don't know you, but let me use your position. Izuku. Huh. Mei. If I team up with you, that'll mean I've become part of the team that everyone's watching the most, right? Mei would exclaim as she inches closer to Izuku. Mei. Meaning my super cute babies would be seen by all the big companies. Mei exclaims while inching even closer. Mei. In other words, those big companies will see my babies. Yet again, Mei inches closer and jumps up to say that directly to Izuku's face. Ichako. Wait a minute. Babies and big companies. What are you? Mei. And I think that you guys will also benefit. Ichako. She's not listening to me. Mei. The support course creates equipment that assists heroes with their quirks. Mei says as she opens up a case full of equipment. Mei. I have a ton of babies, so I'm sure you'll be able to find one that you like. Izuku. I don't know. With my quirk, I don't that backpack. Mei. Oh. Has this one caught your eye? I made this based on a certain hero's backpack while adding my own original twist. Izuku. Airjet, right. My fam work with them, so I like them a lot. Mei. Wow, that's great. By the way, my quirk is. Ichako. They're getting along really well. Izuku. Yosh, I may not have been able to get Tenya-kun on board, but with Mei and Ichako, things might just find a way of working out. Ichako. Deku-kun. Izuku. What is it, Ichako? Ichako. It's just that how is this going to work? Izuku. Huh? Ichako. I mean, with Ida-kun, you two were gonna be the horses, and I think that would have worked well. But now I think it won't exactly go as smooth if me or Mei were the riders. Izuku. What make you say that? Ichako. Well, you're really tall, Deku-kun. Much taller than us. Izuku. Oh, I see problem now. Ichako. Besides, even if you could work as a horse, I don't think either of us could keep up with you. Izuku. Fair point. Yosh, guess I'll just have to be the rider then. Mei. Not to be a downer, but you really expect us to carry you? Not only do you probably weigh a ton, but carrying you would just be awkward in general. Izuku. Oh, that no problem. My quirk can fix that. Izuku would comment before his body began to shrink until he was just a smidge taller than Ichako. Izuku. See? Izuku asks only for Ichako to immediately look away and avoid eye contact. Izuku. Ichako. What wrong? Ichako. It's nothing. Tall Deku is nice, but seeing his face up close like this is something else. Izuku. Okay. Anyways, now that problem fixed, there's just one thing left. I want one more person on team, and looks like person I had in mind is free. Izuku says as he marches towards his next ally with a smirk on his face. Ichako. Deku-kun. Izuku. I see you're in need of some allies. How's about we team up? 1B blonde. Almost everyone has their eyes on Class A. Why is that? And like Tetsu said, Class A is full of themselves about it. It's strange, isn't it? The only difference between us and them is that they've fought villains. Why were those of us in Class B happy with being in the middle of the pack? Let's let that arrogant Class A know, guys. The timer on the screen reaches 0 and a loud horn resounds. Midnight. And that's time. Get ready cause we're about to kick things off. PM. Yo, Eraserhead, it's time to wake up. After 15 minutes of team formation and strategizing, 12 cavalry teams are lined up on the field. Izawa. Some interesting team-ups we've got here. PM. Let out those battle cries. It's time for UA's bloody battle. Light the signal fire. Izuku ties the headband with his team's total points written on it around his forehead. Izuku. Ichako. Ichako. Yes. Izuku. May. MHMM. Izuku. Fumikage. Tokoyami. Yeah. Izuku. I'm counting on you guys. PM. Alright, you guys have made your teams, right? I'm not gonna ask if you're ready or not. 1B blonde. Tetsu. No hard feelings, okay? Tetsu. Yeah. PM. Now let's go. Counting down to the brutal battle royal 3. Bitsuki. We're aiming for. DM. 2. Shoko. 1 thing. DM. 1. Midnight. Start. Immediately every single team makes a dash straight for Izuku's group. Tetsu. It's basically a battle for those 10 million points. Toru. Haha, I'll be taking those points now, Midori. Izuku. Here they come. Tokoyami. Midoriya, your move. Izuku. We escape of course. Tetsu. Like we'll let you. Tetsu yells as the front runner of her team uses their quirk to cause the ground to become quicksand-like. Ichako. What's this? Tokoyami. We're sinking, and fast. Izuku. No problem, brace yourselves. Izuku exclaims as he presses a button. The pack on his back activates and launches him and his team into the air above the other groups. Tetsu. They flew. Damn the support course's gear. Toru. Shoot, Jiro. Hyoka. I'm on it. Hyoka extends her earphone jacks and sends them straight to attack Izuku's team. Noticing Hyoka's attempted attack, Tokoyami deflects it with his dark shadow. Hyoka. Damn it, Tokoyami. Tokoyami. Nice work, dark shadow, keep covering our blind spots. Yes. Roger that. Izuku. Awesome, I knew you were the right pick. Fumikage. With you, our defense can't be beat. Tokoyami. I'm just doing my best to live up to your expectations. Ichako. We're landing. The group quickly descends upon the ground. Using the boots given to her by May, Ichako generates strong winds from the bottom of her soles that help ease the group's landing. Izuku. It was the right call to have Ichako make everyone but herself weightless. May. Well, what do you think of my babies? Man-made cuteness is without equal. Izuku. Yeah, your baby's super awesome, May. May. Right. Ichako. Pout mumble, I'm the one who's letting them float. Toru. We're heading after them. Time for revenge, Jiro. Sato. Wait a second, Hagakure, where's your headband? Toru. Huh. When did that happen? Nearby, the blonde from Class B is quickly leaving the scene while spinning Toru's headband around his finger. Blonde. Profiting while others fight sure is lucrative. PM. Now then, even though barely 2 minutes have passed since we started, it's already turned into a free-for-all. Fights over the headbands are breaking out all over the place, ignoring the 10 million points, and aiming for 2nd to 4th place is pretty good too. A pair of bad ears sprout out from beneath Izuku's hair as he hears someone approaching. Izuku's team comes to a stop as they see Shoji charging at them. Minora. Fighting. No, this is a one-sided pillage. Izuku. Huh, Mizo. On his own. Tokoyami. But this is a team battle. At any rate, let's gain some distance. We can't be caught between multiple adversaries like this. The group tries to run, but Ichako finds herself unable to lift her foot off the ground. Ichako. Huh. Izuku. What's wrong, Ichako? Ichako. I'm stuck. Isuku looks closely at Ichako's foot to see that the boot appears to be glued to the ground by one of Minora's grape balls. Isuku. Huh. That Minora's, but where? Minora. Over here, Midoriya. Izuku looks towards Shoji to see Minora hiding in between his arms. Izuku. Huh. Is that legal? Midnight. Sure is. Minora fades into the darkness of Shoji's arms before a long tongue shoots and tries to snag Izuku's headband. Izuku dodges as the tongue shoots past his head and nearly hits Tetsutetsu. The tongue retracts back to Shoji's arms and Tsuyu peeks her head out. Tsuyu. I expected no less, Midoriya-kun. Izuku. You too, Tsu. Tsuyu. Best of luck to you. Tsuyu exclaims before she shoots out her tongue again and Minora hurls a barrage of grape balls at Izuku. Izuku does his best in order to dodge the balls and Tsuyu's tongue. Team Mineta's taking advantage in the stark differences between their sizes. They're like a tank. Izuku. Ugh, enough of this. Izuku's throat bulges before he shoots out a large tongue of his own. He slams his tongue against Tsuyu's and deflects it. Tsuyu. Kiro. Izuku. Gotcha. Izuku swings his tongue rapidly, covering a large scope of the area in front of him. Doing this causes most of the balls to get stuck on Izuku's tongue. Minora. Huh. What was the point of that? Izuku. Did you forget what my quirk is? It modifies my body to perform whatever task I needed to do and adapt to my current situation. Did you know, sugar will dissolve on your tongue because of saliva? So if I think of your grapes as sugar. Izuku would say as Minora's balls would seemingly begin to melt and dissolve against Izuku's tongue. Izuku. My quirk will modify my saliva to dissolve them. Minora. Well, that's super cool and is giving me plenty ideas for later in life during our private times. That's just not fair right now. Izuku pulls his tongue back into his mouth to coat it in saliva before spitting it out again and wrapping it around the grape stuck on Ichako's foot. After dissolving the ball, he retracts his tongue and presses the button for the jetpack. The group launches themselves up in the air and escapes from Team Mineta's assault. Izuku. Yosh, we managed to escape. Izuku's ears shoot up causing him to quickly turn around. He quickly sees Kitsumi flying at him using her explosions. Kitsumi. Don't get carried away. Izuku. Damn it. Izuku jumps away from his team and goes straight for Kitsumi. They both swing their hands at each other and create explosions that cancel each other out. Kitsumi. You damn copycat. Huh. They both separated from the horses. Is that allowed? Just then, some tape wraps around Kitsumi and pulls her back down to her team. IG. Nice catch. Midnight. If they'd touched the ground, it would have been a problem, but they're safe on a technicality. Izuku rejoins his team as they land on the ground and quickly get back to running. Izuku. Shit, looks like not even the air's safe. We're on foot from now on, guys. As expected, everyone's after the first place and Class A is in hot pursuit. Everyone's got skills. Hammerman. With all those flashy moves, even just watching's fun. There's this much difference just from their experience fighting villains. Now then, it's been 7 minutes, so let's take a look at everyone's points and the current rankings. The large screens in the stadium change to display the current rankings of the competitors. Huh. Wait a minute. 0, 0, 0, 0 what the? Other than Midoriya, Class A ain't doing so hot. Bakugo's at 0. What? At that very moment, Kitsumi's headband gets taken from behind by the blonde from Class B and his team running by. Blonde. Class A is far too simple-minded. It's Team Monoma. Mina. Crap, he got us. Kitsumi. What you say, you bastard. Give that back before I blast you a new one. Monoma. Since Midnight said it was the first game, it wouldn't make sense for a lot of people to get cut out in the qualifiers, right? Assuming they keep about 40 people for the next stage, we just made sure we stayed within that number as we ran, observing from behind the quirks and personalities of those who would become our rivals. There's no point in being obsessive over winning in the prelims, right? Kitsumi. You did this as a class. Monoma. Well, it wasn't a consensus, but it was a good idea, right? Team Monoma runner. Hey, they're coming. Monoma. It's better than chazzing after a temporary top like a horse with a carrot on a stick in front of its face. Well, I'm at it. You're quite famous, aren't you? As the princess who got rescued from the sludge villain incident. About how it feels to be attacked by villains once a year. Kitsumi's pre-existing rage would begin to grow upon hearing Monoma's taunting. It quickly reaches the point to where you can practically see it emanating off her. Kitsumi. Kirishima change of plan. IG would turn around and her heart would skip a beat seeing Kitsumi completely engulfed in her rage. Kitsumi. Before we get to the mangy mutt, we're killing these guys. Izuku. So Class B planned from the start to throw the first game. The audience would definitely see them in an even better light if they beat the winners of the last game. Looks like they're focusing on Kat-chan, there should be less heat on. Suddenly, another team almost rams into Izuku's, causing them to swerve to avoid. Once they find themselves standing stable, Izuku and his group come face to face with Shoko and her group. DM. We've passed the halfway mark. Izuku. Of course it's not that easy. DM. The cavalry battle has entered its second half in this unexpected rise of Class B, who will be the one wearing the 10 million points in the end. Shoko. I'll be taking that now. Izuku. Let's see you try. Nearby, in Shoji's armed fort. Minora. Crying. Sigh. It was a good plan, so I joined the team even though it was you. When did you lose your headband? Minora. Crying I don't know but no there's nothing to lose Shoji, full attack mode. Minora commands as Shoji unfurls his arm fort and charges towards Izuku and Shoko's team. Minora. We're gonna steal the points from those two teams with everything we've got. Okoyami. I didn't think we'd have a confrontation until later in the contest. She seems to think highly of you, Midoriya. Izuku. Don't stand still. Have time left. Shoko. Iida, forward. Denya. Right. Denya's thrusters rumble as he leads the charge against Izuku's team. Shoko. Yaoi Rozu, prepare to guard us and conduct electricity. Momo. Right. Momo creates an insulating sheet and a spike she stabs into the ground. Shoko. Kaminari, you. Denki. Already got an idea on what to do, chief. Izuku. Oi, keep an eye out, guys they're coming from all sides. Denki. Make sure you guard well indiscriminate shock. Denki sparks with electricity as Shoko covers herself and Momo with the insulating sheet. Seeing what's coming, Izuku quickly transforms his arms into massive wings and grows 2 more pairs from his back. Using his wings, he forms a dome around his group and modifies them into a rubber-like material. Denki. 1.3 million volts. Denki yells as he unleashes a surge of electricity that shocks all the nearby teams. Once Denki's shock wears out, Shoko throws the sheet aside and grabs hold of Momo's spike. Shoko. Less than 6 minutes left. We can't back down now. Sorry, but you'll just have to bear. Shoko exclaims as she freezes the ground and the feet of the other teams through Momo's spike. DM. Todoroki's immobilized that mob of teams like it was nothing. Izawa. She froze them after Kaminari's shock stopped them. Taking into account how many people avoided her ice, she thought of a means of counteracting that. PM. Nice commentary. Shoko's team zooms by 2 Class B teams and snags a handful of headbands from them. Shoko. I might as well take these too. Class B girl. Damn it. Class B boy. What, mine too. Shoko creates an ice wall that separates her and Izuku's teams from the others. Izuku unfurls his wings and returns his arms to normal. He tries to use the backpack to fly away, but it malfunctions. Izuku. Why? May. My baby guess there's still room for improvement. Ichako. The boots are acting up too, they're too strong we can't get away. Izuku. Here they come. Okoyami. I'll restrain them. Okoyami exclaims as he sends Dark Shadow at the enemy team. Shoko. Yaoi Rozu. Momo quickly springs into action and creates a large paddle from her arm that blocks Dark Shadow. Momo smirks as Tokoyami glares at her. Izuku. Shit, Momo creation make this difficult. Tokoyami. Sorry, if the sunlight were a little less harsh, I would have been able to deal with them easier. Izuku. It's alright. Against Denki lightning, Dark Shadow has it rough since it bright. Izuku's team suddenly comes to a halt as they reach the end of the field. DM. Team Midoriya has nowhere left to run. Izuku. Oi, Fumikage, does anyone else know about your whole light weakness? Tokoyami. The only other person who knows is Kota who I told it to at USJ. He's a man of few words so I doubt he told anyone else. Izuku. So we can use that to our advantage then. While Izuku and Shoko's team are in a stare down, Kitsumi is aggressively trying to get her headband back. Her team charges at Monama's with explosions going off in her palms. Kitsumi. Die. Kitsumi yells as she swings her arm to launch an explosion at Monama. Monama keeps a calm composure and manages to dodge and redirect the attack with his palm. Kitsumi quickly turns around to attack again, but instead gets blasted in the face by an explosion from Monama. Monama. Wow, what a nice quirk. Monama comments before swiping his hand and grazing Iji's hair. Kitsumi. That's my. Iji. Bakugo, someone has the same quirk as you too. Kitsumi. Damn it. Itsumi swings her arm and lands a point-blank explosion on Monoma. Monoma. Really, such nice quirks. The smoke clears to reveal Monoma unscathed with his skin hardened. Monoma. Mine's better though. IG. Wah mine again. Itsumi. No, this guy copied them. Monoma. That's right. Even an idiot could figure it out. Monoma comments, to which Kitsumi's anger explodes. The group attempts to charge but gets sprayed by grey goop coming from another Class B team. Monoma. Bondo, picking a fight, huh? Team Monoma runner. Monoma, we just have to avoid getting caught now. With this many points, we'll definitely make it into the top 4. Monoma's team would run away from Kitsumi's team to avoid getting caught. Kitsumi. After them. IG. I can't move, this stuff is solidifying. Mina. Hang on, I'll melt it with my quirk. Zero. Hurry, we've got 0 points right now. Monoma. Now, don't be so mad at me. It was your leader who prompted us to act. Honestly, his whole speech was embarrassing. Saying he'd show us why your class is standing at the top when all he's done is run away. I suppose your whole class really is more bark than they are bite. Defying the very laws of human biology and physics, Kitsumi's rage reaches new heights, capable of grabbing onto heaven itself and shivving angels. PM. 1 minute left. Todoroki made it so she'd be able to seize the 10 million points in an instant, at least that's what I thought 5 minutes ago, but unbelievably, Midori has been able to keep away in that small space for 5 minutes. All Might. You're doing good. Meanwhile, Shoko's father, Endeavor, is currently watching the event play out from the stands. Endeavor. He can see right through you, fool. Shoko. He's keeping his distance, staying on the left side. He's paying attention. At this rate, if I want to freeze them over the shortest distance possible, I'll end up freezing Iida as well. And if he keeps moving like this, I'll do myself if I freeze indiscriminately. And they've already got a counter to Kaminari's electricity. Less than a minute left. That bastard. Denya. Everyone, there's less than a minute left. You won't be able to use me after this. I'm counting on you. Shoko. Iida. Denya. Hang on tight. Denya would say as he gets into a kneeling stance with left foot in front. Denya. Make sure you get it, Todoroki. Denya's exhausts rumble loudly. The red flames coming out of the tubes turn a brilliant blue and extend. Denya. Torque over. In a burst of speed, Shoko's team blitzes past Izuku's faster than the eye can blink. Denya. Reciproburst. The team comes to a heavy stop across the field, leaving a trail of dust and smoke behind them. PM. What? Where'd that super burst of speed come from? Maybe lead with that next time, Iida. Shoko. What was that? Denya. By forcing the torque and rotations to increase, I created an explosive power. Though my engines stall for a while as a result of the recoil. It's my secret ace in the hole. I told you, didn't I, Midoriya? That I'd. Izuku. Shoot, that was a real close call. You almost had me there, Tenya. Shoko's team is a bit surprised to hear the moxie in Izuku's voice. Shoko looks at her hand to see a clump of grey fur and blood. The smoke and dust on the field clear to reveal Izuku with an elongated giraffe neck covered in grey fur with green spots. Izuku. Nicked me pretty good there though, Shoko. PM. What's this? Midoriya shockingly managed to avoid getting his headband snagged. Shoko. Bastard. Izuku's neck turns back to normal and he lowers his headband to cover up his bleeding. Izuku. If you want to claim the top spot, keep coming at us with all you've got. Shoko. Iida, can you still run? Denya. I can run, but I can't use my quirk at the moment. Shoko. Good enough. Charge forward, we're making a full frontal assault. Ichako. Deku-kun, I think you made her mad. Though Koyami. What's your call, Midoriya? Izuku. We've got nowhere to run and they're coming straight for us. Our next move seems clear. Izuku's body bulks up and returns to its original size. His arms transform into those of a gorilla and spark with electricity. Izuku. We stand our ground and fight you with me. Team Izuku. Yeah. DM. With less than a minute left, it looks like it's all over. Are these the 4 teams going into the next round? Monoma. Second place, huh? Looks like we might have done a little too well for ourselves. Anyways, let's focus on keeping that spot. Itsumi. Hold it, I said, hold it. Monoma. Geez, so persistent. As a hero, not to mention a person, that persistence will. Before Monoma can get another word out, Kitsumi launches herself at his team using her explosions. IG. Don't act on your own, Bakugo. Monoma. Suburaba. Suburaba. Guard. Monoma's lead runner takes a deep breath and breathes out an air wall that blocks Kitsumi's assault. Kitsumi tries to punch through the wall, but it proves sturdy. Suburaba. You can't see the wall, serves you right. With one extra hard punch, Kitsumi breaks through the wall and snags two of Monoma's headbands. Monoma. She took two. Kitsumi almost falls on the ground but manages to get caught by Shiro and pulled back to her team. Team Bakugo seizes two headbands and moves up to third place. The rankings keep changing in the final stages, it's the passion of youth. Various Class B teams would start rushing in to take Monoma's last headband. They manage to get kept at bay by Tsuburaba and Monoma, copying his quirk. Monoma. Damn it. Tsuburaba. It's fine. We're in fourth. Kendo's been frozen and can't move. Monoma. Yeah, as long as we defend this one to death, we'll definitely. Shiro. I told you to say something if you're gonna jump. IG. But this means we'll definitely get through to the next round. Kitsumi. Not yet. Kitsumi yells as she repeatedly knocks on IG's head. Shiro. Huh. Kitsumi. We're going for an indisputable first place. Izawa. Monoma Class B's strategy was certainly reasonable and good. But there's just one thing that's unfortunate. Kitsumi. I couldn't brace myself enough on my own earlier go, we'll get back our points too and then go for the 10 million. Kitsumi's team's reactions range from astonished to excited by her statement. Shiro. Smirk geez. Kitsumi. Flat face tape. Shiro. It's Shiro. Shiro exclaims as he launches a line of tape that extends beyond Monoma's team and sticks to the ground. Monoma. You missed. Kitsumi. Raccoon eyes lay down a weak dissolving solution in the direction we're going. Mina. My name is Mina Shido. Mina angrily yells back despite following Kitsumi's orders. All might. Young Bakugo, you understand very well without being told, don't you? Those who are aiming for the top and those who aren't. Their difference. Kitsumi fires off two explosions which launches her team forward at high speeds, with Mina's acid allowing them to slide across the ground. Izawa. You didn't take the difference in tenacity into account, did you? Tsuburaba puts up another shield in an attempt to defend against Kitsumi. Using the acceleration from her prior explosions, Kitsumi launches an extra powerful explosion that instantly breaks through the shield and steals Monoma's last headband. Bakugo is merciless if she's gonna do it, she's gonna be thorough. She's, you know, a perfectionist. Now there's only seconds left. Kitsumi. Next we're going to where Deku and Todoroki are. Shoko. Midoriya. The two teams charge at each other, ready to finish things off with a final attack. Izuku cocks back his sparking right fist, and while Shoko's left arm ignites. Izuku smirks before he suddenly jumps off his team and goes over Shoko. Shoko's eyes widen as she looks up at Izuku. Izuku. Bayaka. Shoko. Huh. My fire, what was I doing? Izuku's arms transform into wings which he uses to launch himself higher into the air. Izuku's wings and entire body catches aflame as he transforms into a dazzling green phoenix. He then takes a deep breath, big enough that his chest expands. Izuku. Phoenix. Anticipating Izuku's attack, Shoko quickly grabs the insulating sheet and uses it to cover her team. Izuku smirks as his body suddenly turns a vivid violet. Izuku. Boria's breath. Izuku breathes out a blast of freezing air that freezes Shoko's sheet. Shoko. Another feint. Izuku. He. DM. 10 seconds left, start the countdown. Just then a huge chunk of the ice surrounding the groups gets blown up as Kitsumi bursts through. Kitsumi. Deku, you bastard. Izuku. You again. Shoko manages to throw off the frozen sheet and leaps up at Izuku alongside Kitsumi. They both stretch out their arms towards the giant bird boy until. PM. Time's up. Upon hearing present mix announcement, the two girls lose their focus and fall to the ground. Izuku lands back on the ground and transforms back to normal. He then throws his fists up in the air with a large grin on his face. Izuku. Alright. Shiro. Bakugo. IG. You okay? Kitsumi. Incoherent angry noises. Shoko. Damn it. DM. Now let's take a look at the top 4 teams right now. In first place, Team Midoriya. Ichako. We did it. Okoyami. HMPH, naturally. May. Kukuku, my babies will get their chance to shine after all. Izuku. Good work, guys. PM. In second place, Team Bakugo. Mina. Ah, we were so close. Shiro. Well, second place isn't bad. All's well that ends well. IG. You really think that's how she sees it? IG would say, referring to Kitsumi, who's practically twitching out of rage. PM. In third place, Team Todoroki. Momo. Sigh, we ended up in third place after all that stress. Denya. Sorry, I ended up causing everyone trouble. Momo. That's not true at all. We almost had Midoriya-kun thanks to you. PM. And in fourth place, Team Tetsutha. What, it's Team Shinso. When did you come from behind? Present Mick would exclaim in confusion while referring to the team lead by the sleep-deprived purple-haired boy. Shinso. Thanks for your help. Shinso would say snarkily as he walks away from his rather confused team. These 4 teams will advance to the final round. While all the other teams are celebrating their victory, Shoko is staring solemnly at her left hand. Shoko. I won't use this to attack. That's what I decided on, but I was overwhelmed. Shoko clenches her fist tightly out of frustration and raises it up to her face. Shoko. I can't at this rate, I'll be doing what my old man wants. At that very moment, Endeavor, who had been watching everything from the stands, walks into the stadium. Now, we'll take an hour's break for lunch before we start the afternoon activities. See ya. Hey, Eraserhead, let's go grab some food. Izawa. I'm going to sleep. Outside the stadium, student entrance. Tetsu. Depressed. What happened? Before I knew it, we had 0 points and it was over. Fine girl. Could this be punishment for taking the small one's points in such an indecent way? Tetsu. I can't accept this. Sayu. Frustrated. How disappointing. Mina-chan, congratulations. Mina. Well, Bakugo just took me in to deal with Todoroki's eyes, so I don't really know if that reflects my abilities. Ichako. Iida, I didn't know you had a special move like that. No fair. Denya. It has nothing to do with fairness. I just wasn't using it as intended. Enki. Short-circuited way. Denya. I wanted to do something capable of competing with Midoriya. Ichako. It's that manly thing, huh? Ah, speaking of which, where is that Midoriya? Where's Deku-kun? Nearby, in another entrance that's rather empty compared to the other one. Shoko is standing with her back against the wall, while Isuku towers above her, with his arm pressed up against the wall just above Shoko's head. The two are locked in an intense stare-down with a cold air of silence between them. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.